What's up, guys? I'm just finishing up my walk right now, and I was thinking about it, and purity of intentions, purity of thoughts, just purity in general. That's that's the solution to pretty much most of the world's problems. There's, I'll just bring up a common sentiment. You ever hear the advice, if he wanted to, he would, or if she wanted to, she would? A lot of anxiety comes from us thinking a little bit too much about the intentions of things. Like, oh, if she wanted to, she would text me, but she's probably busy right now or something, or vice versa. He would probably text me if he wasn't busy. But really, that goes back to purity and authenticity. You have to just take actions for what they are. So if somebody is not texting you, you have to take it for what it is. You can't sit there and, well, you can try to sit there and rationalize and do all this, but for the most part, you have to just take it for what it is. And then on the giver of that, the person who's doing that, they're usually not being pure themselves. They're usually on some Machiavellian time, or they're not being pure with their own thoughts and intentions. And that's where all the anxieties in life arise, from not being authentic. Because, like, for example, this girl, she was trying to get with me, and I didn't jibe with her. And to some people, what they would do is just be like, okay, there's this girl, I'm just gonna get some cheeks, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna string her along. And a lot of people do that nowadays. Like, I don't even like saying that, but that's so common, especially in our generation. But I genuinely thought to myself, I want to be pure. I don't want to lead anybody on. I don't want to live a life of lies. So what I did is I quietly cut her off, because it was never made explicit. It was never made explicit that she liked me or anything. But I'm decent with knowing people, so I could tell it was getting there. And I just responded in that language. So I responded in subtle ways of not rejecting, but for lack of a better word, yeah, rejecting. Because it's always better to be pure and authentic than to be inauthentic. I mean, that's the opposite. And it just goes to the point of, in life, everything tells you to be inauthentic. It's like for example, you might want to go out in some sweatpants and a sweatshirt, right? But because you have guilt and shame in your head, or you're living through this inauthentic life, then you see people in jeans and all this stuff, and then you start to feel shame for yourself. But really, if you're comfortable and you're pure and you're authentic, that's all that matters. So if you want to go out in the sweatpants, then go out in them, Or if you're not feeling like a certain friend, then don't lead them on and pretend like they're so much closer than you guys really are. Just have an authentic talk with them. Talk about it all and, figure it out. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. I'm just in a public location, so, people passing by. So, yeah. You kind of have to just be authentic in life. Because inauthenticity continues you to be in the cycle of samsara. Because as long as you continuously lie to yourself and live a false reality, then you'll never actually be able to live your true life and your true self. And then all that circles back to being pure. You have to be pure and authentic with yourself at all times in order for you to grow in life. So for example, let's say you're in a mood. Don't pretend like you're not in a mood. Live it, feel it, explore that feeling. Really feel it. And then afterwards, you can assess how you wanna move forward. Also, look at this. Just found a random wood pile with concrete and stuff. But yeah, so me, for example, I have moody days. I'm only human. So on my moody days, I'm not gonna go out and act like I'm not moody and whatnot. I'm gonna just contain the self, deal with the moodiness, and then I'll go out when I'm not moody, because that's what I view should be done. That's a pure and authentic reaction. I don't want to bring my moods to other people. And why I say that is because, and I don't mean this in an egoic sense, but like, I have capacity to fill up a room with my energy, and if my energy is bad, I've seen the results of that. Like, for example, earlier this summer, I went to go play soccer with some guys, and I hadn't smoked in so long, and my friend, he had offered me a hit of his pen, and me, like a dumbass, I was like, yeah, let me just take a blinker. So I hadn't smoked in like a couple months, and I just fucking took a rip, like a proper blinker. And you know what happened? Bro went nonverbal. So I just went nonverbal. People were talking to me. I just wasn't like responding. Like, I was in La La Land. Like, I was in the sunken place. And like, I slowly saw everybody talk less. I slowly saw the vibes go down. I slowly saw this all happen. And it made me think to myself, like, hey, you have a responsibility as a person. Like, if you have potential to affect people and their moods, then you have a responsibility to not put people in negative states, you know? So in that example, I should have been authentic with myself and be like, hey, you haven't been smoking, you know, don't smoke, or at least if you're gonna smoke, take a small puff. And then 2, I wasn't being authentic in that moment. Or no, I was being authentic, but it was bad vibes. And then what that leads to as well, and why this all ties back in together, is that I was authentic in that moment, and it made me like, I wasn't faking anything, and it made me truly realize like a lot of stuff about, you know, getting high, a lot of stuff about how you act. Like, a lot of these thoughts came from that day. And it's not that I was going about my life like, oh yeah, you know, I don't affect anybody, I'm just the ghost. Like, it wasn't like that. But I just hadn't realized the magnitude in which I actually do affect people. And again, not in an egoic sense, but more of a, you know, you don't realize what you got, like a hidden talent sort of thing. Like, I didn't realize that. So yeah, I had to yeah. You know, I'm mostly, if you made it this far, just know I'm mostly making this video because I want to be consistent on YouTube now. And this is a way of being consistent, just posting whatever. So I guess the ethos of this was, you know, you got to be authentic in life. And that's pretty much it.